On this Thanksgiving week, Nick and I are drinking some Benthic as we talk about his online sales pickup of the different variants of Benthic and my trip out to Sauganash to grab some green screen from Alarmist, and then we get ready for all the events happening on Black Friday, including those Goose Island variants that are coming out. All that and more on this week's episode. Here we are, hitting up events, drinking our way through Chicago beer, and trying not to miss a thing.
Yeah, because, the cork popped out, boom, it flies like fucking 10 feet. We're like, yeah, let's do it.
All you have to do is add some fruit, stir it up, and ride that milkshake wave.
Whenever I see him, I gotta take a photo with the most decorated brewer in Chicago, Jonathan Cutler.
It'll be like the stuff you hear. Every time you go to Floyd's, all the music sounds like this. Raw, raw, raw.
Sometimes you want a small beer, but really, you want a big beer.
You gotta take in all those big aromatic hops.
Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Waiting in line for a bottle release?
You should have never been a fad. The Black IPA is delicious.
Hey, and welcome to Chicago Beer Pass. I'm Brad Chmielewski.
Brad, what's up, man? I'm Nik White.
Thanksgiving week, Black Friday, stouts all around us.
Biggest party day of the year. I'm spent, man. I'm looking forward to really toning it down for this holiday week, man.
You're gonna take Black Friday off.
Maybe just drink some of the small beers.
Small.
Like little, just the little breakfast beers.
Well, I saw on Twitter, didn't somebody make how there's Black Friday or there's Blackout Wednesday, then there's Thanksgiving, then there's Black Friday, then Small Business Saturday.
Oh yeah.
And then someone I saw made a Small Brewery Sunday.
Small Brewery Sunday.
Yeah, so support your local craft brewery.
It's not the worst idea. I mean, because your small brewery, your local brewery gets lost in the shuffle,
Mm-hmm.
So,
especially when these big boys are releasing 8 variants.
Jeez. Just give me some water that tastes like with some booze in it.
Some seltzer? You want some more seltzer? Some city water?
Just give me some city water, man.
But we do have a big stout to drink, so we got the farthest thing from city water.
Man, from the benthos, Brad, begins in the shallows. It rests on the floor where the creatures tumble along the contour. This is poetry right here, man. The power of the current pulling everything deeper and out to sea.
And it comes in this crazy little 2-pack box that looks like it's gonna be full of either weed or cigarettes. Like
pre-rolled, hand-rolled.
Yeah, that's what I think of with this box. It's just
cigarettes.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So you got the lottery, or you just had to plan this online? What was the
no, yeah, there's a you could just the digital line, which I really like.
Okay.
I don't know, Brad. I'm a fan of showing up early sometimes, and just let me take that back. I don't like showing up early. I do like hanging out. I do enjoy the line.
Okay.
The line is full of friendly people and bottles that you forgot existed.
Sure.
Right? And in Half Acre's case, it runs through a neighborhood, which is probably why they did the digital line.
It's getting too crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it would go halfway down whatever block that is, whatever. Because what's on the corner? Wild Turkey, Wild Goose Grill?
Yeah.
Whatever that block is. It snakes clean down that block halfway down.
Right, yeah. I missed Big Hugs last year, so I don't know how that changed or even what's happening this year with that. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah. So, Benthic, last year they called, if you bought them all, they call it the whole enchilada. This year they did not call it that. It was just options A, B, and C.
Okay.
Yeah. So
did you get the whole enchilada?
I got what was known as last year as the whole enchilada.
All right.
Yeah.
Which is?
It's 16 cans total. Yeah, we're full on asshole. We're Benthic all year, but all year, all month.
Okay.
Yeah, 16.
You got rid of your phase 3 inside there.
Phase 3, they've let me down. They could have just called it a series of beers, and I would have understood that they were all similar in nature when I had them. But since they didn't, and it convinced me that they were different beers,
Anyway.
I'm on a rant. Yeah. Oh yeah, you get 16 bottles, 16 cans, 16 6-ounce cans. The way they did it, the way it played out, I think you got 10 OGs, and then 6 variants, and most of those are vanilla. I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Random or just that just happened?
Well, there's only 3 variants. There's a double dose, which and then there's the double dose vanilla, and there's one more. Oh, the brandy apple one.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So last year, I was just looking at this. Last year, they mentioned that they were aged in 3 different types of barrels, like Heaven Hill, and a couple more. Man, where's my notes, Brad?
I know you're not prepared under the weather.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go. All right. Last year, 2018, not this one. 2018 was aged for 9 months in Heaven Hill, Old Forester, and Woodford Reserve barrels.
Oh, nice.
So OG Benthic is a whole bean dark matter coffee and toasted coconut in a barrel aged stout. Yeah, I was doing the math on this, and it's still roughly about $1.09 per ounce.
Okay.
Even though the format last year was the 22-ounce joints.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, because a bottle of this 22 ounces was $25 last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think these came out to like $16 a can.
Nice. Okay. Makes sense. And then we also have some of we did this a few weeks ago. We had the blends from Cloudwater and Half Acre as well, just as a side beer, because what's this? 13%? 14%.
14.2.
All right, let's crack this open. This black can, like the Revolution cans.
Yeah.
See the new trend, right? All right, and you got these sweet benthic glasses. Was that part of your option?
No, that was a la carte.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many Half Acre glasses do you have now?
Double. I mean, these are branded Benthic, but the other ones are just like, well, I got the far and away.
Right, and we got
Those are my favorite ones.
got the Bodum.
That's like a rocks glass.
Bodum glasses here.
Bodum glasses. And then there's the really cool Wild Ale program glasses. That's a stemware, where it says Half Acre, but the way it's shaped, it's like a nifty little 8-ounce. It's a 10-ounce glass with a nifty little 8-ounce measure on
And
it.
I think I got some classic Half Acre pint glasses, shaker pint glasses here too.
Right on.
I don't know. We got
Yeah.
Half Acre glass stacked.
So we probably said this: OG, vanilla, double, and apple brandy. So for the apple brandy, instead of bourbon barrels, there was apple brandy, but then also they added cinnamon to that one instead of coffee. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. But this is just regular with coconut and coffee.
Yeah, toasted coconut and dark matter coffee.
That toasted coconut makes like a not even a peppery smell, but like a peppery effect that it kind of like tickles the nose hairs.
Yeah, it's like a Mounds bar, but it almost smells like it's almost like cola a little bit. Like when you approach it, like it's gonna taste like cola. That gives me those aromas, like
It's
like a cherry Coke with like some coconut or something in it.
Mm-hmm. Because it has that like almost like flat Coke aroma, like smell to it too. All right. Whew. Oh. First off, it's way thicker than I was like expecting it to be when I took a sip. I was like expecting like kind of more of a cola texture to it, and it is syrup.
Like where Orin, which might have came out last month, Orin is that's their strong ale in barrels. It's all booze and all flavor, and the viscosity is turned down on that one. Right, it was actually like, drinks more like a nice, like a heavy porter or a barley wine. But this one is quite dense for the Half Acre crew. Like they don't really make beers this dense at all.
No. That coconut is very bright on the first sip, and after like 3 sips here, my palate kind of got used to it, so I'm starting to get more of like a chocolatey, like sweeter kind of taste to it. But the coconut is so strong in your first sip.
coconut and like baker's chocolate vibes.
Wow.
You know, it's that's a fun beer. And you know, we're saying dense for Half Acre, so we're think Beguile dense. Don't think like Goose Island is like ultra syrupy, right? Or like Hubbard's Cave, like way too syrupy.
Okay.
This is like syrupy for a crew that never goes syrupy, so it's not. You know, it's still in check a little bit.
So did we, when we were at Far and Away last year, was it Benthic we had 3 ways, or was that Orin?
No, I'm pretty sure that was Benthic.
That was Benthic. We had the coffee that went into Benthic. We had Benthic, and then we had one of the variants, right?
It might have been Big Hugs 3 ways.
No, it was Benthic then.
Okay.
It wasn't Big Hugs.
It wasn't Orin.
Okay. Then it was
Alright.
Benthic.
Okay.
so-
Yeah.
Okay.
This has to be maybe the 3rd year of Benthic. It's one of the newer ones in the roster. And I tell you, man, it has replaced my hunt for BCS because they always come out around the same time. So now you're looking at, you're either going this or you're going to go grab something from the good folks at Rev.
Okay.
Yeah, just because their names are a little wacky over at Rev. You know, a lot of letters.
Yeah.
All the letters, the best letters.
VSORJ LMNOP.
Yeah, but their interpretation on those barley wines, man, like the way they dig into those styles, is so fun.
So why, this would be a question for Half Acre, but really, like, why have this beer come out now and Big Hugs is going to come out in, like, about a month, right? It's right before Christmas, because I remember getting it as, like, a Christmas gift for people.
Yeah. Well, because I think, this plays right in line with, you know, on the heels of Fobab, along with all these other barrel-aged styles coming out, right? This is their Black Friday offering, essentially, right? This is their November offering, where Big Hugs is like traditionally a coffee stout. Like now, it is a barrel-aged version of it, right?
There's variants.
There are variants of it, but the base Big Hugs is a coffee stout, right?
Right.
So,
But how close is this to Big Hug? Like, it feels a little thicker and less coffee, but it's got to be, like, real close. Like, if on the brewing side of it, right? It's got to be, I don't know.
yeah, I always think Big Hugs is like a much more bitter play, like more like a traditional imperial stout.
Okay.
Yeah, big traditional Russian imperial stout.
And this is more of your chocolatey,
Yeah, this is more like their version of a dessert stout.
the pastry
Yeah.
stout kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess, so if you saw Big Hugs or Benthic, you going Benthic?
I'm going Benthic all day. I do enjoy Big Hugs on Nitro, or like when we were last time we were at Half Acre when we did the shoot for the intro, and there were some Big Hugs there. I was super excited to see it.
Yeah.
I like Big Hugs out of season.
Okay.
Yeah. But Benthic, I like Benthic.
In season.
Benthic in season, Big Hugs off season. Yeah.
Those summertime Big Hugs.
Right, like on Nitro, a little 10-ounce pour, I'm in, right?
Well, it feels like you're drinking a nice coffee. That's why Big Hugs works kind of in the
Exactly.
summer. It's like, oh, I'm getting drunk on iced coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. Big Hugs is that. Yeah. Big Hugs definitely embraces coffee more than Benthic does. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna.
Man, I was feeling down, man. I mean, I'm coming back.
You get a little sugar kick at 14%. It's like, yeah, let's go. Cool. All right. So we're gonna keep sipping on this 14% beer. But that was your main stop this week, right?
Yeah. That's kind of all I did. It was super smooth. You walk in. They were pouring the nitro big. They were pouring nitro Benthic and they were pouring vanilla.
Okay.
So I didn't stick around for the tabs. But you walk right in and the Brewhouse is open, and the Brewhouse has 3 jockey boxes with 3 people behind them, and then they're not pouring, but they're these jockey boxes are lines where you can pick up your allotment. So they roll out your beer on top of the jockey box and scan your ticket. Oh, and then they greet you with a sample of Benthic, which is all pretty cool. So this rolled so fast, so easy.
I like it. Sounds pretty good. And that was Friday?
Yeah, so there's no you miss out on the bottle share.
Okay.
But you don't have to take off work. You roll in. I think you can pick up your beers clear through December 7th or something.
Right. I like that little window they're giving people. Like, I just can't make it that day, or something else, or another beer was getting released, and I had to go out that way. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
So
All right. So Nick did that. What was it? On that Friday, there was also the release of green screen from Alarmist. So I went up there. I was so close to Sketchbook because they had their barrel aged beers get released also, but I didn't make. I could literally I could have walked from where I was in Evanston to Sketchbook, and I just didn't have time and couldn't go. So I blew it there, but
That's how it is, man.
this green screen is so good.
From Alarmist. Now, what's green screen, man?
It's basically a take on the hazy, like another take on it. I think they're probably running into a wall with the juice a little bit, so they wanted to kind of try some different hops, do something else. It's delicious. It kind of reminds you of having some of those hazy beers early on. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot that these are what they are. They're like juice. They're like it's just like thick. Where the juice isn't as thick, it's closer to beer. This one's like on the thicker. I don't know, like your other Trilliums or like those kind of hazy beers.
Strata hop. It sounds like they're using it in that one.
So I think the green screen series is going to be taproom only releases and just kind of be like whatever, because the green screen you can put whatever in front of it and make something. So I think that's kind of their play on that.
And it sounds like these crews are trying to get away from like having that one dominant beer.
Right.
Like, yeah, I think that's what I took away from my last off color visit. It was like far and away, in part, had a lot to do with, I think one of their big beers, their big selling beers, this Apex Predator. I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
It's like, all right, yeah, Apex is doing great, but let's have something that's reminiscent of that, which is a little bit different though. Right? Let's try to stay away from having this one beer dominate all our sales kind of
Right,
thing.
because if people stop drinking it or someone makes a better version of that.
Yeah, you've kind of painted yourself into this corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
But this beer's nice. I picked up 2 4-packs, so we have a 4-pack that we'll probably dive in next week because we're got 14% stout here. So.
Oat Shaker is underrated for them too. I like
Yeah.
that. Nice purple label on the Oat Shaker.
But Alarmist was packed on a Friday night. So they have no food there. There was a crew at a table there with a crock pot of chili and like all the fixins on their table.
Taking care of business right there, bud.
They brought a crock pot. I was going to a party where we had like a couple different fondue things.
Yeah.
We could have just took the fondue set to Alarmist.
They're going, what's this, Cincinnati style? Like 3-way, 5-way? You know? Yeah, they got they got pasta right here if you want.
But who? Man, that's
commitment right there.
Yeah,
you bringing a crock pot to the brewery.
Oh, I can bring my own food. I got a little mini grill here. We're gonna do some just cook up burgers right here.
We're bringing an entire chili bar to this.
That's
to
what
this
they
tap
had.
room.
I was like,
I'm all in, man. I might slide you $5 to get in on some of that.
I think that's kind of their hope, right? Like maybe if we have this pot here, someone else might see this and be like, I didn't bring any
That's
food.
funny. It's like the dude at the Bears game this week. Some dude snuck in a full pumpkin pie and like cans of like fucking whipped cream.
What?
Yeah.
He snuck it in?
It's like it's in the tin. It's like and he's he's making these huge circles with whipped cream. It's hilarious. I was like, yeah, do what you gotta do, man.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
But this place was packed, and I just was in and out, basically picked up those 4
Saginaw, Chicago.
4-packs and a little sampler, and I was like, all right, gotta go.
No.
But it was good. The only other stop I made was Aris earlier in the week.
You went inside, Aris.
Yeah.
Nah, I gotta go inside.
I've
I've never been inside.
I only go inside. I don't sit outside.
I went twice. I sat outside both times.
It's magical in there, Nick. There's like chocolate fountains
why are you
and
doing this to me?
unicorns.
What is it? It's landmark status because it used to be like a temple of some sort. It used to be like a Masonic lodge. And
Yeah. But it was cool. I don't remember what I had. I know that
What about Foyk and Hayes?
it was not on.
Okay.
So I knew that. I had a Pilsner. I had I think something blushing, one of their ciders, and then something else.
I go
Which is like really bad because like they're not bad, but they're not. I don't remember the names.
I go dry hop cider when I'm there. I go mosaic hop cider when I'm at
Aris. I usually go one beer, a small cider, and then a blend. That's kind of my like game plan when I go there.
Yeah.
But like I said, they're all good. Go to Aris, like support Aris. They make them.
Food's great too.
The food's amazing. The beer is good, but it's also I can't buy any of these beers to go, and I've never seen them anywhere else unless someone has a tap on of Aris, so I don't remember the names.
All right.
Like
So you can probably get a growler, but nothing in packaging other than that.
Right.
Okay.
Which isn't. I don't know. It's not my fault that I can't like.
Yeah.
There's like.
It's good for them because then you're kind of forced to go there.
Mm-hmm. But it's always busy. There's always people there. So.
And they seem to be the official like de facto cider in a lot of places. Like if you're at Rev, of course, because Michelle.
Or
at
it's
Rev.
Good Time Charlie.
Or Good Time Charlie, yeah.
With this Rapey
There's
cider.
one of two, yeah. It's Rapey Cider or Aris. If there's a brewery with a cider on, it's one of those two.
Yeah, I like Aris ciders much better than Rapey cider.
Yeah,
Like,
and well, Aris has a lot more range
Yeah.
as a cidery so far.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they might be a little older too, but I mean, come on. But she's like, Haley Shine, who used to be at Rock Bottom.
Yeah.
She's a full-on brewster that has embraced the cider world. So they're like you said, they're doing these hybrids, they're doing these dry hops, they're doing a wide range of stuff.
it's closer to what you would find or want from Virtue. Like you get that. They're not even that sweet. They're more on the mild to dry side. Rapey ciders, I really haven't had them in a long time, but they started kind of as a homebrew cidery kind of thing. So they had one cider. It was semi-dry. And
Yeah.
it was fine. It was kind of like cloudy.
One
And,
time I went to the Loyalist, the fancy burger joint. I got Rapey Cider.
yeah, like nothing. That's fine. I'm not a go-to cider drinker. If I saw a beer and a cider on a menu and had to pick, I would probably pick the beer.
Depending on what part of the day I'm in. If I'm a few cocktails in and a few beers in, and I'm winding down the night, I might roll that cider.
Okay, yeah. But like the first thing, if you're like, you only had two things, the cider or the beer, I would probably pick the beer, even if it's one I don't love and a cider I like kind of more. I would probably just like go with the beer.
So you wouldn't be one of these dudes like at my buddy Travis told me he went to Microphone Smells Like a Beer Fest last year, and he said the first thing that kicked was like a mead from like Superstition or something. So you wouldn't be one of these guys waiting in line for some super fancy mead at a beer fest.
No, that seems like a mead would be kind of silly because it's higher in alcohol and it's so sweet. It's just gonna wreck your palate. We know that 3 beers and your palate is like wrecked. You really can't taste those new ones. So why like destroy it with your first beer or your first drink?
Nerds, man. They're like, I want this mead.
You're just doing it to check in. You're not doing it to try it. But to his own. To its own. To their own. But Aris, always good. Always good. Someday you'll go inside.
I got no choice now. I do want to see the joint. I might go this weekend.
Mm-hmm. But it's hard. Like, there's often times where I'm like Old Irving or Aris. Like, they're very convenient for some friends that live in the north suburbs to just hop off the expressway and go to them. So I'm like, they're like, I can go this far into the city because it's quick. And I'm like, okay, I can go to either. And oftentimes we'll go to Old Irving just because the food is more casual. Not to say Aris isn't casual. It's just like that pub vibe of Old Irving is kind of just easier to like hang out at.
There's probably less kids at Aris, I'm guessing.
I don't know. I've never seen very many kids at either.
Now, I've been to Old Irving a couple times. There's a lot of kids in there.
Oh, okay.
You forget that, man, I love the Northwest side. Aris, Alarmist, and we're talking like what, a 1.5 mile
Yeah,
radius.
they're all close. Yeah.
Aris, Old Irving, and Alarmist. Lake Effects right there for bottles. You
Twisted
go,
Hippo too.
Twisted Hippo's right there. Your extended romp would be like the Beer Temple. Now
Never heard of it.
now you're sliding into the one of the ultimate three ways, which is Metro and Rev and the Maple Room.
Yeah.
All on the Northwest Side. You can spend the whole day on the Northwest Side.
Good.
I mean, and not even like, I'm talking like 3 miles.
This is why I stay in a 3-mile radius. I don't know. I have lots of good options.
Man.
And we got Aris won that. We said the bronze of the haze for the Fork and Haze last year. Yeah. Old Irving with the gold this year. Alarmist with the gold last year. Rev's always winning awards, not just at World Beer Cup and GBF, but FOBAB, Strawberry Jacket, stuff like that.
We're doing all right, man. We're doing all right.
Oh, it's not too bad over here.
It's decent. It's decent.
But yeah, those were my couple stops, and Nick went over to picked up these sweet cans of Benthic. So yeah, we took it a little easy this last week, and we're recording on a Monday. We've been on this Monday train.
That's true, because there's always something going on Tuesday. Like tomorrow, we're going to visit the Hop Review.
Right.
They're doing what are they doing? They're doing a tasting of stouts
for their website, where I think we have to supply some words.
Words is fine.
Okay.
I'm like, do I have any beer?
I don't think we have to bring anything.
Good.
I wasn't.
Because then I got to carry it all day. That's the only reason. Like, I mean, of course I would have. I don't mind giving it. Oh, I got to pay up for losing the fantasy draft because ABV is going to be there.
What do you have to pay?
Just a regular 4-pack.
Oh, so you have to bring a 4-pack.
Yeah. So I was thinking like maybe something from Sketchbook. They use the example of like something from like Dovetail, or some 6-pack from somewhere like that.
Okay.
So I'm like. So, yeah, I got a call from Josh Riley, like, yeah. So the email says the piper must be paid, is what it says.
Whoa.
And I'm like, that's cool. I didn't know this, understand the story, but I know what the piper must be paid means, but I didn't know the story behind the piper.
Yeah, I know the piper story, yeah.
Yeah. So he killed, so they didn't pay him, so he used his pipe. He used his pipe to drag some kids.
To get rid of the kids,
And then they fucking killed the kids? That's one version of the story.
I guess, yeah, yeah.
Oh, man.
He was just probably weird. It's a creepy pedophile story in the end. Like, if you want to think about it, like, why is there this, he was a weird serial killer that we all know.
They should have paid him. No, sorry.
But yeah, we'll be drinking some stouts with the Hop Review tomorrow. I'm sure we'll share photos on Instagram and all that stuff.
We haven't been there since Ultra Fresh. I assume that's where the party's going to be.
I believe that's their space, yeah, upstairs there.
Somewhere over there. Ryan Hall's right there.
That's right, yeah.
I've never been there.
I've never been either. Might have to get over there early. Are they open? They're open like every third Thursday when the moon is full.
Hours are ridiculous at fucking Ryan Hall.
Yeah.
That's why we never go, because it's like...
Also, there's nothing else to go to over there. Midwest Coast. That's probably the closest spot. All right, but we'll be there, and then it's Blackout Wednesday. The week's over. Then the week's over.
Then the week's over. Yeah, Buckle Down's doing something on Blackout Wednesday.
Okay.
Significant barrel-aged stout release.
Okay, this is different than their deep seas that they.
That's the one we had at when we were in Oak Park.
Okay.
That was good. That was like an oatmeal stout.
Yeah.
This is like a straight up barrel-aged stout.
So this sucks. Deep sea. No. I think I went last year and got cans of this. Not on Wednesday.
It's got an elephant on it, so I remember seeing that. There's gonna be looks like 3 flavors: salted peanut, double berry, that's boysenberry and raspberry, and chocolate and cacao.
Maybe
an OG.
I either got cans of it or I was there and I was like, I don't want to pay $30 for that, or I didn't try it and I took it home. I don't remember. Like, I know I didn't drink it there. I might have bought cans for the show.
On Blackout Wednesday, Dovetail's doing a holiday box release.
I will be over at Dovetail.
6.9%. Lager for 5 months.
Okay.
It's as smooth as it is warm, Brad.
All right. Well, I'll be drinking that on Wednesday. I'll also be drinking, Christmas ale is out from
I saw that
Beguile.
somewhere. Oh, I thought you were going to say
Great Lakes. Yeah, that's out. But I think
Not ready for any of this stuff.
whenever I do Blackout Wednesday, we start at Beguile and I go Christmas ale. I got to get the season started off right. But I think they've had Christmas ale out for a few weeks now. I think it might come out the same day as their Imperial Pajamas release, but no one's there to drink Christmas ale. They're there to drink pajamas.
Off Color, they're getting busy. They're having a Keep the Logo Glass night on Blackout Wednesday.
Okay.
That sounds cool. Now that they have 16-ounce cans, it only makes sense to design 16-ounce glasses. So they got a new lineup of 16-ounce glasses. So if you order a pour with that size, you can keep the glass.
Oh, nice.
$11 with the glass, one per custody.
Okay.
That's cool.
Let's go.
Yeah.
They also have Friday on the, Friday. They have their Pawpaw getting released. So new beer as well as market rate.
Pawpaw's an interesting one. That's like the kiwi of the Midwest or something like that.
Is that what it is?
I think so. Yeah, like it runs. It only runs in the Midwest. I mean, it runs. It only grows in the Midwest. And
I don't know if I've ever seen a Pawpaw.
I can't tell you I've actually had like a pawpaw, but apparently they.
How's it compared to a plum?
Oh my god! I had this talk like 2 days ago about these plums, and it's like I asked 4 people. I got four different examples of what a plum might be. I'm like, everyone's an expert on plums now, but now it's funny because no one's there's no consensus on what a plum actually is, or what it reminds you of,
There's a consensus on what a plum is. We all know.
Yeah, they eat enough of them, and you'll be immortal. Just like on the bottle, just like the can says.
But I can't, so I don't know what Pawpaw.
I've had a goose. I had a Pawpaw beer. Now this off-color one. You go to Moody Tongue, they've got a Pawpaw IPA on right now. Yeah, it's
There is an old school cartoon called the Pawpaws.
Pawpaws.
Yeah.
I know nothing about that. All I know is that they don't. You have, as soon as you pick them, you have to use them right away because they don't last very long. Like they start to go bad very quickly.
Isn't that all fruit?
No, like quicker than
Oh.
most fruit.
Okay.
I just named every fruit ever.
Once you pick a fruit, it's gonna go bad. You gotta use it.
You got to go right away.
Okay.
Pawpaw. What else do we know about the Pawpaw?
Oh yeah. So
I didn't know about it until Brewery started using them.
I didn't know it was a fruit. I knew about the cartoon, and so I never associated with like an actual thing.
It's the largest edible fruit indigenous to the U.S.
Okay.
The pawpaw.
How big is it? Like a.
Sweet custardish.
But how big? Like.
Similar to similar to banana, mango, and pineapple in flavor.
Right, that makes sense. But how big? Like watermelon? Big? Bigger than watermelon? Is a watermelon a fruit? Watermelon's a fruit, right?
I think so.
Or is watermelon?
They'll grow in the ground, though.
Watermelon, not a fruit.
Fruits don't grow in the ground.
Well, I thought there's like the seed thing, right? Because
Fuck, we're getting off. We're way off now, bud.
fruits have seeds. Vegetables don't, technically. But even though like bell peppers have seeds, so I don't know.
This show's off the rails. That's why we got to keep it under 30. That is why. Because we're talking about gourds and pawpaws and seeds and what's a fruit versus a vegetable. We have no fucking clue. We barely know where the parties are, Brad.
This is why we stay on beer, because we know beer. We have no idea.
No fucking clue.
All right. So then also Black Friday is your big Goose Island release.
Yeah, you already know what it is.
Do not go wait in line for these beers if you're in Chicago.
This is Brad's mantra right here, bud.
If you're outside of Chicago at family's house for Thanksgiving in the far reaches of, I don't know, Schaumburg, then, or
Crystal Lake.
Then go to Benny's.
Elburn. I'm just naming all the stops. That's the last stop on the lines of the
Yeah.
metro.
Then go to Benny's and do this. In Chicago, there will be plenty of opportunities to get these beers for the next 4 years. They will have every variant that you can ever imagine. They will be at FOBAB. So don't wait in line for them unless you really have nothing else to do.
It'll be hard to get prop, but I think the rest of them is what you're saying is true.
And then usually Whole Foods has them
Like,
a week later.
yes.
Oftentimes Jewel has them later. There are probably even more bottles this year than last year. So think of that when you're waiting in line. And remember, you're giving the largest beer company in the world $20 a bottle.
You know, we talk about Blackout Wednesday, and then Thanksgiving, then Black Friday, and what is it, Small Business Saturday, and then Small Brewer Sunday. Like, that actually needs to be our focus more than hanging out, giving AB and Deb all our fucking cash.
They are good beers, but you don't need to wait. You also don't need a bottle. Like, you need a glass. That's all you need. Like, enjoy them at the bar with friends. Don't wait in line for a bottle and then keep it in your fridge or your closet for years. Like, I have old Bourbon County. That's sad.
We're speaking as people who got after it for several seasons.
Right.
of
Let
BCS.
me tell you how you're gonna feel.
But I will say, Brad, everything Brad's saying is spot on. But consider your transition into supporting another brewery for Black Friday, because there's so many true local options that don't have multinational corporation ties that are making killer beer. Like, part of my transition is, hey, last 2 years, you know, I went on my way to go grab Benthic instead of BCS.
And you could probably, although the Buckle Down's getting released on Wednesday, they are also not overly popular that they'll probably be out on Friday. Like, go there. Also, Krampus from Old Irving
It's a good call.
is getting released on Friday.
If this thing of ours, if this local Chicago thing of ours is going to be any good, we have to consider drinking more than one brewery on big weekends like this.
Right. Like, a lot of beers are made here in Goose, and they do a lot of things for their people and things, but money spent at, Half Acre or Old Irving is way better for the community and the people that work there than it is spent at Goose. Like, it all goes back to Chicago when you spend it at, like, Old Irving. It doesn't all go back when you spend it at Goose.
He's not wrong. I hate to agree with you, Brad, but no, he's not wrong.
That's my argument for, like, they are good beers. Just you don't need to wait in line for them. You can get them and have them. Go drink them at Bangers and Lace.
Don't get caught up.
Go drink them at Jake Melnick's. Like, you can get them at the places that have them and, have some taste of them.
Don't get caught up on blowing your wad with just them. Like, maybe, like you said, get one or two and then go try something new. Try something new. That's what we're saying. Yeah. Try something new on this holiday. We know who the big players are. Explore.
And you got to save money for the third Deepwood series, too.
Oh, man, the next one's going to be... So there's three. There's a third one, and then there's a fourth one. That's the finale, because that's the 10-year beer.
Oh, okay.
And whatever else, and all the letters. There's going to be some more letters, too.
Right. So there'll be another... So you're going to be broke. So don't do it. Do it if you must, but Benthic, man. It's delicious. Where would you had all these Goose beers?
Yes.
And now you've had the Benthic. Where would you put is Benthic above all of those?
Man, that's a great question. Vanilla Benthic and really the apple brandy barrel Benthic are as good as anything, I think, in the Goose line. I haven't had apple brandy this year. I did have vanilla this year.
Okay.
Vanilla is just as good as anything in that lineup. I had Cafe Diola from the Goose lineup like maybe 2 days ago. Not my jam. I don't understand, because we talked about, the Half Acre style of syrupy beer and the Beguile style of syrupy beer, and that's a that's a much calmer version than Bourbon County Stout, which is like big and rich by default. So when you go like for this year, you go prop or you go Cafe Diola, and you put you actually add like vanilla sugar to a big ass beer already. Like for me, I'm kind of out at that point, right? Like I'm just kind of burnt out on overtly, like cloyingly syrupy interpretations of stout. Like I'm just out.
Okay.
Right.
Like you're not drinking the cherry one, the
Moncherie.
It's good, but shot. Like
Yeah.
drinking a sherry. Like you only want a little bit of sherry.
Yeah, like exactly. Like that one is more like a digestif almost, right? Like, hey, there's 10 of us. Let's all do an ounce and keep on trucking like that, right? I will say this about that Goose series though, like the ones where it's just a barrel showcase. So like
double barrel.
like double barrel's great. Like 2-year reserve, or there's a Rittenhouse rye, and then there's OG. Right, I think those are for sure worth the price of admission.
Okay.
Yeah, and then so Benthic plays in that bracket of the top 4 Goose variants. Benthic plays very well in that bracket. I actually think vanilla might be as good as anything up there.
Vanilla Benthic is okay.
You know, I hate that. You know, yeah, man. But cheers to Goose, man, because they did have us out and we did try all 8. But I felt I was a little rushed personally. Okay. You know, I just wanted to sit down and hang out with these, especially when you hear the brewmaster talk about like, yo, I've had every, no, it's Todd Ashman, the president. He's like, I've had every Bourbon County ever made, including this year's. Mm-hmm. You know, I just wanted to sit down and enjoy it a little bit more than I did.
Because last year we had basically unlimited time, and we were able to revisit some of them later, even though, like we said, you're not going to be able to fully take in that, but once you have them all, you come back and be like, okay, did I really like banana?
We sat down and talked to, this was at Clybourne.
Yeah. We
showed up, we rocked all 8, and then we had like a post game where just, you know, we hung out with like 4 or 5 other cats. We turn on the microphones and then listening to what they picked up that we didn't, and then you go back because all the beers are still there. You go back and then you're able to like really dive a little deeper than you would.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to do that this year, and that bothers me because like this is a very good question. Like where would OG Benthic rank in that lineup? Yeah, it would rank in the top half of that lineup.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
And that's
now we gotta go get OG Benthic and OG BCS and just have them and see what's going on.
And then compare that with Death Star.
Yeah, and just see what's going on with all 3, right?
But yeah, this has coconut and coffee in it. That's Bourbon County doesn't. Death Star doesn't. It's about the barrel. This isn't about the barrel, right? Oh, It is bourbon barrel. Sorry. Yeah. But it has adjuncts in it, so it's, I don't know. That's not really a fair. If it was just Benthic Imperial Stout with no coconut or coffee.
I mean, it's not our fault that Goose didn't put toast coconut in BCS. That's not our fault.
Just because you're all about that coconut. That's why this ranks so much higher. But, man, Double Barrel is very good. Like, the beers are good. Just don't wait. You don't need to wait in line for them. That's my, go get them somewhere else. I'm not saying don't get them. I'm just saying don't wait in line for them. I don't think that's worth it. I don't want to, hate on these beers. I just don't think
I don't think you're doing that.
I just don't think they're worth.
I don't think you're doing that. I think it's an important PSA for the city and the burbs that we consider enjoying other things besides that one.
Anything else happening this weekend people should be aware of? Or is that all we got?
No, Brad.
That's it. All right. We should get out of here. We rambled on about vegetables and fruit.
The fuck are we doing, Brad?
PSA on don't wait in line for beer. Although Nick loved his ticket sales at Benthic. Maybe if Goose did that, that might change.
You know what would be good is prop versus Benthic.
Oh, prop.
That would be good because I think prop's got coconut in it.
See, that's a better system than waiting in line on Black Friday for that. The prop thing, you already have a ticket, so you know what you're getting.
Double Barrel was a lottery too, apparently. And proceeds all went to like some nonprofit.
See, so they're dabbling in it, but then the Black Friday releases is more for these stores, and it's not even for Goose. Like, it's a weird.
That's where they win. They're the biggest player in the category, and that's where they win when they use their power to influence the nonprofit space.
Yeah.
They win in that category. They win with the lotteries.
Yeah.
So
I did see Lost Palette is in like 6-pack boxes now too. So I think
Lost
like
Palace, a cool story.
proceeds go to that. So yeah, I don't want to like. I just didn't want to like end on that. I was like hating on these beers because I'm not. But all right, we should get out of here before I say more things I don't mean to say.
No more Benthic for you, bro.
Nick's showing up with 14% beer. I don't know. I just. All right, Nick, where can people find you when you're not waiting in line for beer?
I'm on Twitter at Nicosio.
And I'm on Twitter at BRAD. Chicago Beer Pass, on Twitter, Instagram. We'll hopefully have a bunch of photos up tomorrow for the story, although this will probably be up afterwards. And yeah, look for some Thanksgiving drinking. My uncle always has lots of crazy beers, so
Right on.
going to that. Probably Pollyanna stuff. He always has those that I never
Never get.
get. He always picks up and always digs. So
Good.
look for those. And we'll be back next week drinking some green screen, maybe having some of our releases from Black Friday. And take care.
Cheers.